Yeah.
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 There you go. Welcome back to the On the Fence podcast,
Yes,
Fan
sir.
Nation. Listen, it's
Mhm.
a tough day, Commander Nation, as our team's playoff run has finally come to a halting stop. It was a hard-fought loss to the Eagles, to those dirty Philadelphia Eagles in that
Dirty birds.
NFC Championship game.
Man, it was tough. It was tough, man. But today we're breaking it all down. We're going to share our biggest takeaways from the game and look ahead at the future and to see what's ahead of our Commanders. And we're joined by our special guest, Manny. We had the pleasure to meet Manny week 8, such a glorious game. And we've
Oh
been locked
man.
in ever since then. So, Manny, talk to the people. Let them know who you are.
Yeah, an introduction, my name's Manny. Grew up here in California as, a Skins fan my whole life. And it's, now we're here. It's crazy seeing this type of season that we're having. I think it rejuvenated us as a fan base. I think this is a season we've been needing, and I'm excited to talk about how the future is looking for us.
Most def, man. We're excited to have you, man. And I'm sure Fan Nation is going to be excited to hear what you have to say as well. Even though it was a tough time for us, I'm sure we'll find the silver
Man,
lining in there. So stay tuned for another great episode of the On the Fence podcast. Let's go.
yes.
Raise hell, raise hell.
Let's go.
Blaze a trail, raise hell, raise hell. Hell to the commanders will prevail. Raise hell, raise hell. Hell to the commanders never fail.
So let's get right into it, Fan Nation. Let's discuss what happened on Sunday night. The Eagles showed why they're headed to the Super Bowl, and we showed why we're going home. Listen,
Mhm.
when it comes down to this Eagles dominance and what they put up on offense, you talk about a 50 burger, 55 points. Nobody
Yeah.
expected that. Saquon Barkley. What did you say to earlier, Red? He scored on his first touch and his second
Man,
touch?
both first and second touch were touchdowns.
And
That's wild.
2 for 2.
That's crazy.
2 for 2.
I ain't never
It's
seen nothing
crazy.
like that before.
Saquon's just different. I don't know what else to say. He's a different breed. Him behind that offensive line was a match made in heaven. Man, match made in heaven. He belonged on the Eagles offense. Uh, he put up 3 touchdowns on us. Jalen Hurts, he sure didn't look hurt.
Mm-mm.
You talk about a dual threat performance that he put on. He even had one of his touchdowns called back.
Hmm.
So let's listen. When Jalen, I guess he fooled us because how he looked, that knee looked quite healthy. He was
Man.
it was a complete bamboozle.
Man, every single
We,
time I
we got
saw
those.
him out there, he looked healthier. It was crazy.
No, he definitely had two
I
legs going for him.
Come on now. I just want some of that pixie dust that Sirianni had in the bag and sprinkled it on his leg before he came out there.
I think it's called PCP. I'm kidding.
Oh, that was funny.
I'm kidding.
Oh,
Ain't gonna crash out. Sorry, Fat Nation.
it's all good. It's all good. Now, what did crash out was our team with these turnovers. The
Hmm.
turnovers and the defensive lapses. You talking about being unprepared. I don't know what happened. We just picked the worst day to not show up prepared for football. It just looked like we fumbling issues. It wasn't intercept. We had one pick, and that was towards the end of the game. We don't count that. You talk about the fumbling issues that we had. The way we were just putting the ball on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Eagles. I listen. We beat ourselves. We beat ourselves. But I gotta give it to him. Sirianni preaches to him. He preaches to his team.
He
Punch
definitely
the
does.
ball out. Punch the ball out in practice. That's literally what he preaches all the time. And they did that. They were punching left and right. Even the one fumble that we had on with Eck, the first tackler came in and tried to punch it out, and then that's when Bond came through and punched it out again. That was a double punch scenario. I was like, damn, I don't think I've ever seen that. But so the way we lapsed on defense and just with the turnovers and mental mistakes, it was something that was definitely nothing that we expected from our team. We didn't expect for us to come out there and for us to beat ourselves in such a game. So enough of the low lights. I do want to talk about a highlight. Jada Daniels, rookie record breaking postseason
Mm-hmm.
performance.
Hmm.
My
900,
man, 5.
clap it up for him. 957 total yards and 5 touchdowns for
Oof.
our rookie sensation.
Crazy.
He didn't look like a rookie though.
He ain't
He
look,
did. He just
No.
hasn't, man. Just we all know the most overused term, poise. The kid
Hmm.
has it. He just has it. I mean, more than what I've ever seen before.
facts.
The last person I've seen has so much poise, equivalent to JD. I know it's his rookie year, and I don't mean to make these comparisons, but let's just be real. The last quarterback we've seen with such poise was Tom Brady.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anything like it since Tom retired. And really
yeah.
since he was playing. Nothing rattles him in any kind of situation. DQ
Mm-mm.
had to literally had to grab him and sit him down and say, "You're not going into the game," because he didn't want to see Mariota play. The kid is just a competitor, and I'm just happy he's on our team.
Most def, man. It seen him at the podium, how pissed he was at the podium and everything. That was like
Yes,
the first time we've heard him curse like
he
at the
cursed.
podium. Like I've heard him
Right,
curse candidly in videos, but never like at the
right,
podium. So he was
correct.
obviously like upset about that, and I think that's gonna be the feel we need going into next season. But Manny, what stood out to you the most in this game?
Man, there's a bunch of things that stood out. The good and the bad. I'll start off with the bad first. The inexperience it showed early on.
Most
I
def.
don't know if the players came in. Think it's too big of a game. Like you said, they wanted to came out punching the football, but some of these fumbles were like, that's too careless. We can't be giving the ball up like that in great field position because the Eagles are going to score. We knew coming into the
Absolutely.
game our defense was a liability. We knew if we're going to win, we had to play solid defense and keep them as low as much as we can. That way we can outscore them. That's how we've been winning our games. That's how we beat the Lions. And then, these careless fumbles and on top of the penalties on crucial downs,
Oh my
we
goodness.
kept extending their drives. And sure enough, that's how we just found a way to beat ourselves. It was frustrating watching this game. It's like, what are you guys doing? This is not the team that showed up last week.
Facts. Facts. It was
I was like,
abysmal,
oh man.
man. It was abysmal. But enough of the bad, man. You got some positives for us.
Yeah, but
Anything
on the
good that
bright
stood out to
side
you?
though, yeah, is you kind of Kenny, you mentioned earlier, our rookie QB looked like a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
If you saw some of these throws that he was hitting in tight coverage, it was right outside, defenders' fingertips, right into our receivers' hands. We kept sustaining the drives and keeping them off the field. I think it was the first quarter or two, we had time of possession was way in our advantage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
And
think like
I
the
think that's
first
the
drive
highlight
was like
there.
seven minutes, right?
Yeah, it was like we found a way to keep them off the field, which was great. I was like, our offense is moving the ball.
We just
Mm-hmm.
need to keep the ball. That's it.
Exactly.
And finishing
Don't
the
That's
put
it.
it on the
game.
ground. We were
Hmm.
controlling the clock the entire game. We just had to win the turnover battle. That was it. That's it. That was the formula.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
exactly. That's how we pulled the upset against Detroit. We won the turnover battle and
Mm-hmm.
kept them off the field. And here it was a total opposite situation. We were found a way to shoot ourselves in the foot. But the bright side is seeing how well JD5 performed in a big moment and stage. I think this is going to carry on to the future years that we can rely on him to to show up.
Absolutely. I think going forward, Jaden is definitely going to be a lot more different. Like I think this experience is going to be something that really fuels his next season, and it's going to be a tough next season, right? We know that
Hmm.
after that first season, look at C.J. Stroud. Like C.J. Stroud still had a pretty decent season, but he wasn't as electrifying as he was his first season because teams figure out what you like to do. They figure out your tendencies, so things are going to get a little bit harder. But I think JD has that right work ethic to definitely overcome that. Of things that stood out to me, honestly, it was watching that defense play, and it seemed as though we tried to play the same defense we did against Detroit and really kind of force
Hmm.
into the pass lanes. We did a lot of zone coverage, which makes me wonder, is this a team that we got to play a little bit more man on? And I guess, with Saquon, it's hard to do it. But I feel like Saquon was breaking
Facts.
those big runs because we were in zone, and he's great at attacking empty spaces. So if you don't get him in that first, if you don't get him at the line of scrimmage, it's likely a wrap.
Hmm.
Like with Saquon
Yeah.
for real. All right, y'all. So we talked about the recap of that game. Now let's talk a little bit about some of our key takeaways from there. We already alluded a little bit with that after we got on our highlights and lowlights there, but a couple things that stood out to me, at least on offense, is as you all talked about how Jaden has showed so much resilience and growth, like week over week, And even in the playoffs, each game we played, you could see him growing, and it's just so amazing to see that, man. I think we're living in one of those legendary times of football where we got a chance to see two dynamic rookie quarterbacks go back-to-back years, and CJ Stroud and with our own guy 5. So that's one thing that it just highlight that really stands out to me. Another thing that stood out to me was B-Rob, man. Like we couldn't get anything going in that run game, and I don't know if that's a result of Cosby being out or just the Eagles being that good, but it was tough, and I'm curious to see how we're going to be able to get some things going in the run game going forward as well. There were some defensive struggles on there as well too, with the team. The team definitely looked a little shaky on defense, but I want to hear a little bit about what y'all had to see, what y'all saw for the team offensively before we dive in on that defense.
Well, when it comes to the offense, bro, you damn sure saw that it wasn't the same kind of defense that we played in the previous week. The Eagles, they showed why they're the number one defense. They tightened the hell up in terms of it. It just seemed like things were just so much easier for us to move the ball down the field against Detroit. The Eagles made us earn it. Every single play, we had to earn it. And we did. That's what was killing us, is that they really looked like the cardiac commanders the way we was holding the ball, but we still was finding a way on third and fourth down conversions. We were 3 for 3 on fourth down. I know we were going into the fourth quarter, but the point I'm making is that, when you're converting fourth downs and then you got Tress Way and we're fumbling, we're turning the ball over on those drives. Like we need to be taking advantage of such drives when, hey, that and clap it up for Zane Gonzalez. You didn't miss a field goal, for us, so no extra point. And clap it up to him, Mr. OCD himself, my guy. So I love the fact that, and those who know, those who was paying attention, Philly fans was trying to get to Zane's head, prior to the game. I thought he was going to be the difference. I was like, watch. I said, I can't wait to, play this back. This is going to age so well. Let's run this video back. Zane going to win us this game after the Eagles fans tried to try to get after him.
That the whole time, man. Zane going to win us this
I
game.
I did. Zane going to win us this game. I'm telling you, man. Now that we've discussed Zane Gonzalez and what he meant to us and what our offense has meant to us, I want to pass this over to you, Manny. What's your take on the offense? How did you feel about what are the things we can improve on, or what your take was on just on our performance?
The passing game was there, but we kept saying the running game was not. Whether it was B-Rob, Eckler came in for a little bit. I didn't maybe like one good run or two, but that's really it though. The run game was not there. It put too much pressure on our passing game. And plus to that kind of forced our offensive line, couldn't hold their tough line that long.
True.
So that's why we were stuck with short throws every time. Yeah, he was hitting him, Zach Ertz for all these good throws, but we didn't have enough time to, get the bombs going, stretch the field, these deep throws, and challenge their safeties to push them back more, maybe open up some space for the run game. I think that's kind of one area of focus that we need to focus on for next year. Is that line just needs to work.
Most def, man.
I agree.
A lot of that line is definitely going to need a lot of work, man. There's some free agents out there, and there's going to be some great draft picks coming out, but definitely that line's going to need a lot of work. I don't know where we need to upgrade at besides just tackle, but maybe even Allegretti. I love Allegretti, but maybe he'd be better as like a swing guard center that we bring off the bench on our roster, and maybe we upgrade. Maybe a guy like Brandon Sheriff. Who knows? Maybe we bring him back. Who knows? But let's talk a little bit about some takeaways from the defense. We all saw that number, 55 points. We struggled containing Saquon. We struggled containing Hurts. It was real rough sledding out there, man. It seemed as though every time the Eagles touched the ball on offense, there was nothing they couldn't do with it. And every time they got on the field on defense, they touched the ball. It was really wild how that was going the entire game. So we had a lot of missed opportunities there, specifically in the turnover battle. Fellas, same thing. What adjustments you think could have been made or what takeaways you had that you think could have helped us get a little bit better in defensively in this game.
I'll let Manny take it. Go ahead, Manny.
One big thing for me was the missed tackles.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at Saquon's first run of the game where he ripped off the 60-yard run, there were 3 or 4 missed tackles that could have stopped the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, you miss a tackle, and then who knows what's going to happen from there. And it consistently showed us when you keep missing tackles, you're not going to get them. It's like who knows what's going to happen. Even when we're trying to get Jalen Hurts for all these potential big sacks, they wouldn't take him down on the first attempt, chase him down a little more, and then he throws the ball away.
Mm-hmm.
There was at least twice I remember I was like, if we would have had this sack, this would have shut down their whole drive and put us in good position.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that, man. Hurts was very slippery down there. It would seem very difficult for them to be able to get their hands on him, man. He was playing very savvy football. I honestly didn't expect him to be in the pocket delivering it the way he did, but he really stepped up to that occasion on there. And even though we were getting penetration, I saw a lot of arm tackling when it came to those those broken tackles. And the guy who I saw trying to do the most sure tackling was Mikey Sandersfield, but unfortunately, he was just a little bit too small to contain a guy like Saquon. On most of those big runs, Mikey was there, but he was getting trucked. He's Saquon, bro. Mikey's like 5'8", 5'9". Saquon is what, 6'1", 212, whatever he is. Crazy. So that was crazy. Kenny, talk to us, man. What are your defensive takeaways?
Defensive takeaways. It comes down to this: we didn't create enough turnovers in order to fight the turnover battle. The fact that we didn't create any. So one? I believe we had one turnover. If I'm not mistaken, you guys can fact check me on that.
Check on that while you speak.
But yeah, so I just know for a fact we lost that battle, straight up. Okay, our defense didn't prepare like how we did against Golf. Golf didn't golf. Hurts played his game. Saquon didn't cough up the ball. We gave them too many opportunities. All right, the offense, our defense did what it's supposed to do. In my opinion, the fact that they got too many opportunities. You can't give Saquon the ball that many times and think that he's not going to take advantage of your defense. That's why he put up 3 TDs against us. He scored on his first 2 touches. Yeah, it's just what it is.
We generated
zero
turnovers.
Zero forced turnovers. Okay, so you can't win that way. You just can't. If we're not going to give the ball back to our offense, we're not going to win. It's just impossible. Okay, I don't care what the time of possession is. I don't care what happens. Listen, JD took we created. I'm sorry. Well, we had 5 turnovers against them the last time we played, but we got the ball back for our offense. That was the only way we were only able to get back in the position to win that game. We didn't do that. So the fact that we didn't play complimentary football on either side of the ball, that was my biggest takeaway from the defense. And to your point, you're 100% correct. Not bottling up Jalen Hurts, especially when he was in the pocket taking advantage. He looked elusive and he looked savvy. So it was killing me because it's like, man, it was those plays, those third downs. We just allowed them just to convert those third and shorts or those third and it was the issue that I had was like, if we just got them down, if we could just. It was just those
so
those
close.
plays. So close, bro.
It's a game of inches, though.
The fan of me is coming out right now because I'm just like putting myself in a position of watching the game. So that's the reason why I'm sitting here, with such a reaction, because it's like, dude, on those third downs, it was killing me inside. It's just like, bro, just get him down. I'm not even calling for a sack. Like, just get the ball back to the defense. Let's just get it to 4th down because damn well they're not going to go for it. So let's just put them in a position where we can make them punt and we can get the ball back. Just give JD more opportunities. But as I said, it still comes back down to we shouldn't even put our defense in that position in the first place. We shouldn't have turned the ball over.
Definitely should.
Well, yeah, it's like what they say is like, with the playoffs, turnovers are more crucial. They hurt you more in bigger moments. So, not once, not twice, 3 times giving them the ball back within the 40-yard line or closer, you're not going to win like that. You're not going to stop Jalen Hurts and Saquon from our own 40. that many times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, it's damn near impossible. If you wanted to write a guide on how to lose an NFC Championship game, that would be it. That'd be in there, page
Yeah.
one.
I do want to give a quick shout out since we're on the defensive topic. I want to shout out Frankie Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, the
Our
flying Frankie Lou.
Flying Frankie, I love it.
Flying Frankie. Flying
I love
Frankie.
it.
I
Flying
just want I
Frankie,
just want to
double
shout him
live.
out. And I never once in history, I don't know if you guys, please tell me, have you ever heard uh, a group, a referee come out on national TV, especially in a championship game, with such with that on the line and saying if we get another encroachment penalty that they're gonna force the opposing team to score? We're
Well,
gonna have
I've
to
never
To
forfeit
give
a
up
heard it.
points.
touchdown.
I've never heard it before,
Mm-mm.
but it is an NFL rule that if you get too many penalties in a short consecutive time period, the referee can issue a score as a result of that. So that's what the ref
Interesting.
was saying, was like
Yeah.
pointing out that rule. I was frustrated about it, but it is a legit NFL rule.
Even if it is a rule, you already know who we were going against. 6-0.
Absolutely.
Hockley might as well have been wearing Eagles jerseys. Like they're
Hmm.
7-0 now. With them as their refs throughout the season. I just listen. The numbers don't lie. I'm not one guy to say conspiracies, conspiracies, but the numbers just don't lie. So
Hmm.
it's just when you hear certain things and these things just start adding up a certain way. I It's just what it is, man. Like
Hmm.
I feel like they should have been wearing Eagles jerseys. If we got to play the refs, so be it. I don't care. I'm not gonna sit here and cry about it. We never once said, that's the reason why we lost, because we just had to fight the refs and our turnover battle. If we just had to fight the refs, I still felt like we would have won. Yeah, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. I hear you, Brody. I hear you. I hear you, bro. So with that being said, fellas, what was your favorite moment from the season? Manny, I specifically want to hear from you first on this one.
Man, this one's easy. It's going to be my first trip to DC to
Yes,
watch our
sir.
boys play when I met you guys,
Yes,
actually,
sir.
was
I figured. I knew you was gonna go with this.
that Hail Mary.
Week 8.
That was like, just being there and hearing the stadium explode.
Ooh.
Like, that was insanity. I'm not even sure if you guys have you guys ever even heard that before from that
Come
Never.
crowd?
on, never,
Never. The
never,
stadium was shaking.
ever.
I've never experienced anything like that in my life before. Just
Hmm.
seeing the
And
place
be there in
shake like
person.
that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Not on TV, and the fact that you travel with your pops
Hmm.
That was dope.
to the game is
That was so
crazy,
dope.
man. The fact that you got to experience that, bro,
That's
That was
like,
so dope.
mm,
We were
mm,
pumped for you, bro. We felt like it was our first time
big
at the
time,
stadium coming from Cali.
right?
We were hyped. We were Nah,
Crazy,
man,
bro.
Man,
definitely.
I think that was the moment where, you realized the magic from the season was real.
Hmm.
That
Yes.
there's something different about this season. And, jumping a little forward to, what things I'm excited for is like just a few days after that, Adam Schefter reported that we are a destination spot.
Hmm. Hmm. That was
When
big,
have
bro.
you ever heard that? Like that's the
Not,
season, the magic was real at that moment.
not since I've been
When
alive.
most that it's been a while, man. We had like a small window there when Scott McLuhan was our GM, where players did want to come here, and that was a tiny. It's like this big, where players remotely wanted to
Hmm.
come here. Remotely, it was
Was
this
that
big, Kenny.
was that before he was drinking whiskey or after?
Somewhere in between it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Somewhere in
That was
between
before, because last time I checked, he was up at Fridays taking shots. Before he was coming down to Ashburn.
Man,
That's
that
all I'm saying.
that team was wild, but we don't need to talk about those days anymore because they're no longer the present time. The present times we
If
have competent ownership and we have competent front office and coaching.
the
So
re the reason why I have Redskins on is because we played like the Redskins. That's the reason why I got the Redskins on today.
Hmm.
So since we played like them, but
The
We're
rest
not gonna
future
talk about
champions.
that. We're
It's
gonna
all
talk about
good.
our future.
It's all good. We'll talk about our future indeed. We're gonna keep it moving and keep it pushing. Kenny, what was your favorite moment from the season?
My favorite moment from the season had to be Monday Night Football against the Bengals. That's when I
Ooh,
That
knew.
was
that was a good
good.
one.
That's when I knew JD5 was JD5. When I knew that Jedi 5 was Jedi 5. God damn it. That's when
Yeah.
I knew that the lightsaber had came out because
Yeah.
when he got hit in the mouth and threw that dart to Terry McLaurin
Going in the corner of the end
right
zone,
in
everything.
Pinpoint.
the basket, in the basket
Mm-hmm.
like we never seen before. Absolutely amazing. Just it was then when I knew that that was our time. Like this is our time. Biggest moment, first Monday night, first primetime game of the year. Like man, it was absolutely amazing. My that was my greatest moment, my greatest memory of the season because that's when I knew things were real. Like all like that was our first real moment when I was like, wow, this is different. Our team is different because that was a
Hmm.
gotta have it moment. The Bengals needed that win. They needed it. They were
Hmm.
coming in 0-4. Like they couldn't take that loss. I'm sorry, 0-3. They couldn't take that loss to go 0-4. And we won.
We gave it to
Like
him.
and we against Burrow, who still, for some reason, they still had this competition. They put Burrow above JD, and I don't think so because he beat him already head to head. So I don't even think that. I still think JD is a better quarterback than Burrow. Sorry,
Man,
not sorry.
that's all good, man. We're allowed to say that because he's our quarterback. With that being said, tell me about one thing you're excited about going into the off season.
You asking me? You asking Manny?
I'm asking you. Manny already answered that. He talked about us being a
Okay,
playoff free agent destination
Destination
and players
spot.
wanting to come.
the destination. You're
Mm-hmm.
100%
Yeah.
correct. All right, so
Mm-hmm.
my man, next year, damn, what I'm looking forward to. I'm really just looking forward to what AP is going to do
Mm-hmm.
because
Hmm.
in AP we trust. I don't even
You ain't gonna
honestly
lie.
throw out the mock drafts, throw out the free agency, what we're gonna do in the off season and how much money we have and all that. First of all, AP did a lot with little.
Mm-hmm.
Now he got a lot to work with.
Sorry.
Now before he had to beg certain guys to come on and play for us. Do you know what he had to do to probably get well? You got to think there's certain things in place, but you got to remember guys like Ertz and Wags and Chin and some of these vets that we have brought over. Yes, they weren't like highly sought after, but at the same time, you don't think that they could have had a choice as far as like where they wanted to go. Just do
Absolutely.
they
Chin
could have had a
turned
choice of
down
where they
more
wanted
money
to
to
go.
come play here.
Come on now. So that's what I'm trying to
Hmm.
say. The point I'm making is that back to what you were saying, touching the piggybacking kind of, we are a destination spot. But at the same time, it's just like in AP we trust. Like
Hmm.
what am I supposed what am I supposed to question? I've never I've never gone into an off season where I'm like, as a Commander Redskin fan, okay, I've never went into an off season where I just had total faith in our GM.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have 100% faith. I got nothing to worry about as a fan.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful, man. Happy to hear that.
Facts.
It's nice to see this new era, especially having AP in the house cooking it up, Chef P.
Woo!
We were very appreciative of that. I'll go ahead and end it off with my favorite moment of the season. Man, there were so many great moments. It's hard to even say
Hmm.
which one was my favorite. Maybe because it happened more recently, I'll go with Atlanta. Being there when we clinched
Mm,
the
Hmm.
playoff berth and had that spot
mm.
locked up, that was definitely one of my favorites. I'm not gonna say it's my
That was a
absolute
great.
favorite, but it was one of my favorite moments. It was a great game,
Yes,
great
it was.
energy in there. Just seeing all the burgundy and gold, and just seeing that stadium like really rock the way it was. Seeing Jaden lead the way he did and everything. It was just such a great time, man. That light show they had in there, I'd never seen anything like that. So that was definitely one of my favorite moments there. And one thing that I'm looking forward to in this off season, honestly, is similar to what you all are saying. It's just retooling, man. I'm looking forward to seeing our team do it again. Right? How many guys can we bring back? How many guys will we bring in that are new? And what are we going to be able to do with all of that? Can we keep Cliff Kingsbury? Are anybody going to try to coach some of our coaches? You know, I could see that happening as well. So I'm looking forward to all of those changes and seeing how we get better going in there. Like I said, that window is just now opening for us. So I'm interested to see how we progress on that and see if we can make it back to the championship, if not the Super Bowl next year. So that's going to be exciting. But we've been having a great conversation so far. So let's go ahead and take it towards the ending point with some bold predictions going into the off season. So let's get it. All right, y'all. Closing out. Bold prediction time. So as we wrap up, I want us to talk about what we look forward to in this offseason. We kind of said what we're excited about, but what's our bold prediction? What do we actually think is going to happen in this offseason? Like, it could be a player you want to see come in. It could be changes you want to see made. I want to see what each person's bold call is on there. Manny, you're the guest in the house, so go first, my brother.
Wait, man. Take it away.
All right, well, I got two. So the first one, in particular for this offseason, is I kind of mentioned earlier, we're getting T. Higgins. T. Higgins isn't signed with us.
I like that.
Bring him.
We got our number two.
I like it.
Number two, you know. And looking in the future, you guys know where the Super Bowl's at in 2 years?
Is it in LA?
It's LA.
It's LA. And we're gonna pull up to that.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Let's go. We definitely gonna try to get out there for the Chargers game, but definitely we need that Super Bowl in 2 years too. I'm with that. I'm with that.
The one next year is in up north at Santa Clara, but the year after that, here in LA.
Yeah, I'm with that.
And I think our team will be ready for sure. The experience and all the chemistry coming together.
I agree, especially if we get T. Higgins.
Reb, you said it yourself. This is the worst that Jaden Daniels is going to be. We already made it to the NFC Championship. We have a brotherhood. We have a core. I mean, our locker room is special. All these guys are going to want to come back. Zach just said it today. He wants to come back and play with JD. So the fact of the matter is, we're a destination location. We are a place where I feel like, hey, we have the best quarterback in the NFC, which yet puts us in a position to be in the NFC Championship year after year after year. So you want to ask me what's my biggest prediction next year for the Commanders' future? Jedi 5 will be MVP next year.
Ooh.
That's what's going to happen.
Wow. Jedi 5 MVP.
Yes.
Wow.
Because I trust what AP's going to do. I trust the type. I trust
Okay. I like
the type of talent that we're going to surround around him between the offensive line, getting him another running back, getting him a weapon on the outside, another weapon on the outside, and then maybe even another backup tight end, athletic tight end that we could bring up. Okay? That we'll probably get in the late rounds this year. Point is, bro, I absolutely, AP, we trust, bro. So I don't have, listen, Jedi 5, MVP next year because of the weapons he's going to be surrounded around.
Hey, I like that energy, man. That's bold indeed, and I'm here for it, man. I'm all about that. I would love to see Jaden as the MVP. I do think he had an MVP caliber season this year, but obviously Patty Mahomes is still out there, and Josh Allen, all those other guys. But Jaden for MVP,
and Saquon.
I'm all for it. Saquon, who definitely should get it, but I'm all for that, man. If you want to talk about my bold prediction, I definitely think we're gonna get some great free agents in. I'm all for bringing in T. Higgins, but if we cannot get T. Higgins, or even if we do get T. Higgins, I'd be very interested in a guy who played for the Tennessee Titans called Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. I would love to bring in Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. I think he would be a great pickup for us. Was he like 6'1" or so? Solid, tall, high point receiver. He can get to the ball. And I would love to see us do a combination of bringing him in. Now, this is if we can't get T. Higgins, right? If we could bring him and Marquise Brown in and perhaps get like a draft a rookie, I'd be all okay with that. That's why I was saying earlier, I love Diami, but if I can get Westbrook-Ikhine and get like Hollywood Brown, I'll let Diami be like my fourth guy that comes in and stuff like that, because I think that we could really take the top off of a lot of defenses if we had that type of receiver quattro in there. You know what I'm saying? If we had those 4 guys, I think it would be super formidable at receiver. But that's my bold prediction. I would love to see T. Higgins or a Nick Westbrook-Ikine and like a, Hollywood Brown, reunion. I would love to see something like that. That would be really dope in there. But that's everything we got going for this episode on here, gentlemen. Before we get out of here, what are your final thoughts, man? I know this was a hard loss, but we've talked about some highlights. We talked about some lowlights. I think that we can all agree that this was a great season, a season for the ages, one that led us all together. So I'm interested to hear what your final thoughts are as we exit this season and this episode of this podcast.
I'm gonna let Manny take it. You're the guest.
It's like I said time and time again, the future is looking bright. It's things didn't fully go our way this year, but the fact is like everything's building on, and our window is just barely opening right now. You mentioned how there's other teams that their window is like maybe shrinking, so they have to win now. But for us, like we're just getting started. JD5, he's still on a rookie contract for another couple of years, so we can start bring in big pieces right now. And this is, I'm excited to see what this offseason brings, and then the next couple of years bring. It's a beginning of a dynasty.
Absolutely, Kenny, what you thinking?
Man, I'm just really, 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 honestly, bro. To be quite honest, I'm just proud of our team. They brought us memories. This year is the first year of this pod, On the Fence podcast. It pushed us to new heights. We're getting attention from all over due to what Jedi 5 has done and changed the trajectory of this franchise. He's become such a media darling, and just our team is just, there's so many eyes on the Commanders now. We have fans coming from the woodworks. We got Cowboy fans converting. I got friends texting me asking me for a Redskins jersey, Commanders jersey, and I'm like, whoa, bro, ain't you a Cowboys fan? Last time I checked, that's crazy. Like
That's wild.
That is wild.
I've never ever once seen this before. People act like this, and we're the ultimate Cinderella story, as everyone says, and we are, the becoming media darlings. And how can you be mad as a kid who just follows God and just our team? Like, we're God led, we're God driven. Like, there's no me guys on our team. Everyone is all for each other. You can't even be mad. We don't play dirty. We don't talk smack. We just play our game, and we're just us. And DQ is he's a leader of men. So I'm so happy that he's our head coach, and no matter what happens, I'm just really excited with just the way, even though we didn't go to the Super Bowl, I'm just excited with just the way, not the way we ended, but just the way that we played throughout the entirety as a whole. What our team has encompassed, and what we could just take away, man. What we could take away is literally saying, we could take away memories, because the memories that were created, we're going to be able to tell our kids, and our kids will be able to tell our kids.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Lots of great memories. Lots of great things happening. I'll say, if to close it out, all the great things you said, it's been a fun season, man. Honestly, this, like Kenny mentioned, this was our first season doing this podcast, and it's been something we've been talking about for a couple years now in our own group chat, and this was the first season that it came to fruition. And we honestly felt as though if we didn't start it this season, it was never going to get started. And I'm so thankful that this is something that we did start, because we did it because of our love and passion for football. But it grew to become so much more than just our love and passion for football, but it became a space where others can express their love and passion for football and really build some solid connection. That we have Manny here and so on and so forth. So I'm just super thankful for moments like that. And I keep saying it, man, that's been my favorite part of this season, my favorite part of this journey of creating this podcast and witnessing team. It's just not just our fan base, but just the people, the community, man. Like, that is beautiful. I see why we truly have the best fan base in the world, because unlike other fan bases, we saw how the Philly fans were, and they have every right to celebrate their team, but we just don't get down the same way everybody else does, man. It's really a party when you come down to our stadium and you come hang out with us. Like, we don't, even if we don't like your team, we're not gonna be fighting you and have our middle fingers all in your face. We're gonna offer you a brew and talk to you about what's going on in the game, because that's what the best fans in the world do. So I'm just thankful to be a part of this fan base. Thankful to have all of you all watching this. Thankful to have Manny here, and just looking forward to continuing to build with everything that's going on.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys having me here now.
Yes, sir. Manny, hey, let the people know where we can find you. I know that besides being a Commanders fan, you do a lot of really cool things. So talk to the people. Let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can follow me on IG at M6EMSIX. You know, I do a bunch of I DJ, so I do a bunch of shows across country. So anytime that you guys are out and I'm area and I'm playing in your area, feel free to hit me up. I'll get you on my guest list. You know, I welcome everyone. And no, you don't need to be a Commanders fan, but that's always a plus. But if we could talk about Scary Terry and Jedi 5, that's always a good thing too, you know?
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, Manny, it's been love from day one, bro. So we're super thankful for you. We've said that so many times, and we really mean it. And we're just looking forward to continuing to grow together. You all will definitely see Manny back on the pod. So let's keep this going, y'all. Let's have a great one. We'll see y'all on the next one. Raise hell, raise hell. Let's go.
Raise hell, raise hell.
Yes, sir.
Blaze a trail. Raise hell, raise hell. Hell to the Commanders will prevail. Raise hell, raise hell. Hell to the Commanders never fail. From kickoff to the final play, we're here to win, come what may. Together strong, we'll